Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
It is Monday. Fucking Monday. Hope everybody had... Oh, I said that before. Ugh. I didn't even make it 14 seconds.
Oh,
well.
Happens.
It's Monday. Hope everybody's having a good one. Jack, how you doing?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
You know.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm annoyed because of Twitter today. Thank you, New York Times. Oh God, I hate them. Hyperbolic pieces of shit. Did you read that article, Jack?
No, I've been busy all day, so I haven't had a chance to keep up on my news today.
New York Times tells us that they got a hold of Donald Trump's taxes. Dun, dun, dun.
I vaguely heard passing stuff about this, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't really give a shit about his taxes."
They're also very clear in letting us know that the person who they got the taxes from got the taxes legally. What they didn't make clear is that even if that's true, that person giving those taxes to them would be illegal.
Right?
Yeah, you can't. Just because they got it legally, any of his accountants, anybody at the IRS would have, some kind of access to that. Doesn't mean they're allowed to pass them off without his permission.
Yeah.
That's still illegal, guys. But they came across some taxes, And the story of the day is that Donald Trump paid less than $750, or was it exactly $750? He paid $750 in income tax for the last couple of years. Right, and am I missing something?
No. So he's got awesome accountants and legal advisors. I don't know what this has to do with anything. Who fucking cares about his taxes? Why are people so obsessed with taxes?
Well, they're pretty sure that they can catch him doing something wrong.
Or an honest mistake, and that would be on the people that did his taxes, not him.
Thank you, Shrouded Angel. Did the taxes fell off a truck or something? No, they said they got it from somebody who had legal permission to have them, which makes that person a criminal now for giving them out.
Yeah, you can't just go disseminating taxes. There's a lot of privacy laws that are being violated here.
Oh yeah, tons of them. Let me start with my favorite tweet of the day, because I think this summed it up perfectly. Scroll down. Scott Adams tweeted out, "Cue massive amounts of financial illiteracy. Go." He's not wrong. The number of people I saw saying really stupid shit was astounding. Dog Resurrect, thank you so much. Howdy Monk, Jack, and Chat Hooligans. I'm still without internet. Someone cut the fiber optic line for my apartment complex, so I'll watch replay. Oh, damn.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Thank you for the donation.
Yeah, thanks for watching. I'm sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, that's messed up. And Duck, thank you. How much did he pay in real estate tax, though? Well, this isn't just his personal tax. That's just how much he paid in personal tax. He goes over quite a bit and how his taxes overlap and stuff. And it's a big jumbled mess of nonsense there's a bit of a shell game being played in there. Thank you, Officer Buck. The stereotypical rich billionaire businessman did the thing that most people in his income bracket do. Sarcastic, well, color me shocked, right?
Exactly. That's so dumb. Every rich person takes advantage of loopholes. It's been done by every celebrity, business person, whatever, that makes more than 50 grand, I think.
And if you're not taking advantage of every loophole you can, then you're dumb. Why? Unless you like giving the government more money, which I guess is your prerogative, but why would you?
Yeah, right. That reminds me of something I saw H3H3 do. I'll bring up later. But yeah, I don't understand this. Why are all these like the Candy Van dude? What's his name? Brian Stelter.
Oh yeah.
I saw somebody posted a clip about him talking about this. I didn't watch it because I think the guy's weird. But I was like, you probably make $100,000 a year on your stupid little show. Talking about stuff nobody watches because you're on CNN. And you're bitching about some other rich guy out of what? Jealousy? I don't understand this. They're all palling around with other people that make a lot of money, and they're bitching about one person they don't like because they don't like him. This is stupid. It's a non-issue. I don't care what he paid in taxes. If you don't like that there's all these loopholes, close the loopholes. That's what legislatures do. Sorry, I'm angry.
No, you're fine. I'm okay. I just went because I didn't know Candy Van had a moment on this. So I know you said you didn't pay much attention to it, but we're going to because, well, he's an idiot, and I enjoy making fun of his dumb ass.
Oh yeah, I do too. But I don't seek that stuff out unless we're going to watch it because I'm sorry, that dude's creepy weird, and that chick's kind of hot, and it just looks like a horror movie set.
It starts out right here with him thinking about, do they like gumdrops better, or should I go get like some suckers? Miss Candy season. Which one should I get?
And nobody likes Tootsie Rolls.
I love Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie Rolls are the devil's turds.
I only like them if they're the bigger ones, because if you unroll a little tiny chocolate piece of plastic and you got to unroll 400 of them to taste them, it's wrong. It's wrong. I do not approve. I like the big ones you get from a gas station.
They even look like turds, dude.
They do, but they taste wonderful.
Like plastic turds, yeah.
If turds taste like that, I would eat them.
Is that why dogs eat cat poop?
It might be. Might be. All right, Candy Van.
I liked the president's tie just now, but this is an emperor has.
Did he start off saying that he likes the president's tie?
I think so, but look at your pause game. Doesn't that just look like a captive and captor look? Like she is like, let me out of this basement, you degenerate weirdo. And he's like, would you put the lotion on your skin?
I like the president's tie just now, but this is the emperor has no clothes. He's a wordsmith, Jack.
Something.
We are 4 seconds in and he's annoyed me already.
Has no clothes moment. The emperor has no clothes moment. That's what this is. Nothing has stuck to Trump in 3 years, 3+ years. But this is about fundamental unfairness.
No, it's not.
See what I mean?
It's about tax law, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah. If it was fundamentally unfair, you'd be committing a crime, but he's not. He's doing it the legal way. If you don't like the laws, petition to have the laws changed. It's that simple.
Thank you, Jedi Ghost Bear, who says, I still can't believe Candy Van is younger than me. I can't believe he's younger than me.
How old is he?
Early 30s.
Really? He looks terrible for that.
We've had this conversation like 3 times on this show.
I know. I forget because I try not to think about this guy.
For those of you who are just joining us, it tells you there at the bottom of the screen on the Chiron. You know what? Let's get a good Chiron up here. Because there's this Dickie. There we go. But on the CNN Chiron there, Trump denies New York Times report on tax data showing he paid $750 in federal income tax. Now, I want to point out, nobody but the New York Times has seen this information so far. But Candy Van here is going to tell us all about it. Come on, Candy. Talk to me.
How much did you pay in income taxes this year? How much did I pay? Almost everybody watching this program paid more than President Trump paid in his first 2 years in office.
All right. Jack.
Yes, sir.
Do you know that the vast majority of taxpayers don't pay all that much?
Yes, more than half of them.
And a good chunk of them actually get a refund on taxes they didn't pay.
Yep.
It's called the Earned Income Credit and the Child Tax Credit, where you end up getting back more than you paid in. We call it a refund, but it's not even a refund. It's a gift. So maybe most of the people watching this make more than most people. But I doubt it.
Yeah.
That's another great pause, I got to say.
Yeah. He looks like he just farted and he's huffing it in. Like,
I was going to say it looks like the candy van was successful and one of them's under the desk, but
I wasn't going to go there.
I'm just going to leave it vague like that. Yeah, that might have been a little too far. What is today's date? Is this one just come in? Yeah, okay. This is Kyle. Thank you. Hello, chat people, Monkey and Jack. Thanks, Monk, for telling me about Audacity. With that and my new editing software, I am now at a level 1 video editor. Sweet. Just practice. It's all it takes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that is going to stick. It's going to be on the morning shows. It's going to be in every other newspaper. That is going to stick like almost no other story in the past few years. And one more point is important.
You're pointing out that a man, look, if you come out and prove he did not pay taxes that he owed, that's a story. That's a story. If you come out and tell me that he didn't pay taxes that he didn't owe, that's literally nothing. Trump paid the taxes he was supposed to. Okay. What else? I don't know why I'm supposed to be upset by this. Now, look, I am upset that somebody like Donald Trump, with the amount of money he makes, can pay less in taxes than I did, because 700 is a shit ton less than I did. Don't be a home an independent contractor. That shit's expensive.
Yeah.
But I do not blame the president of the United States for that. And certainly not one who's only been president for almost 4 years. We can say 4 now. One who's only been president for 4 years. The vast majority of the reason he didn't pay taxes is from before he got into office. And Obama turned out to be a huge part of it. That is actually in the article. And I haven't seen anybody talk about it. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Sino Evo, thank you. Can we discuss the T-Rex in the room, please? Even if true, POTUS only took $4 in salary last year. But this isn't just about his salary. This is about all of the money he makes. All the money that comes into Trump corporations, whatever they may be. But Brian is here to tell us that the president didn't break any laws, and it's going to be pounded into your heads, guys. And believe me, it will be.
Here, the New York Times says they're working on other stories. They say they have more to come. So this is the kind of thing that is.
Yeah, that's important to mention, too. This was a rather long piece from the Times, who writes long pieces anyway. And they promised us a series of exposés on Donald Trump's taxes. I'm wondering what they saved. I would put my money on a big story from the New York Times breaking on Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
You know why, Jack?
Because it'll be their October surprise right after the debate.
Because Joe's going to tank in the debates. We'll talk more about timing in a little bit. Oh, I'm touching her inappropriately with my little finger on the screen there. That was not,
too, but I wasn't going to share.
That wasn't intended. My bad, sweetheart, whatever your name is. God, man, she looks mad.
Right? Hang on a second. Thank you. This is Kyle. I don't have a joke or depressing story about me stealing from blind cancer orphans. So, hi, Jack. Hi, Kyle. Thank you.
Looks like somebody needs to touch her no van.
I'd probably touch her no-nos.
Is going to continue through the final innings of the campaign.
But do you think the president's supporters and voters who turn into Fox News or go to One America,
who tune into Fox News, God, they're worse than Fox News and Antifa is with the Proud Boys.
Right?
News Network that the president likes to also, pal around with, do you think they're going to even hear about this story? Will they get details that we're reporting out?
I'm very curious. I would love to watch all of CNN's coverage of this to see how many details they actually went over. Because like I said, it was a rather long article.
The New York Times has uncovered?
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, Fox tends to cover these stories very gently. They put on multiple pairs of kids' gloves when they're covering a story this hot. But
oh, God.
Your boss game is on point. That you think that's his O face?
Oh, God, I hope not.
And I'm spent.
But these kinds of headlines will be almost impossible to miss. The New York Times all caps banner headline right now says Trump's taxes show chronic losses and years of tax avoidance, that he paid less than most of his voters.
Did you catch that word he said? Tax avoidance. You know what's not illegal?
Taking deductions.
Tax avoidance. Yeah. It's literally not. These people used to cheer about Warren Buffett talking about his. Nobody called him a criminal for it. That's because he was saying the right things, though.
Voters. And I think that is going to be something that's very hard to distract from. I agree with you, Anna. They will find ways to distract from it or make excuses for it. The president will just try to talk his way through this problem. But it is a big problem that's not going to go away in a day or two. This is the rare Trump story that will actually stick around for a while.
The rare Trump story that'll stick around for a while, Jack. How long did we hear about Russia?
Still hearing about it.
We've been hearing about taxes since 2015. We've been hearing about Russia collusion since early or mid 2016. Ukraine went around for a while, and it still gets brought up from time. Most Trump stories don't go away because these assholes won't let it.
No
matter how mundane or stupid it is. I guess I want to talk about the timing of this first, Jack. There's a couple of interesting things about the timing of this. The Barrett story's not taking off like they wanted it to. The people just aren't getting mad. They thought for sure they'd have the everybody be all fired up about Judge Barrett, and nobody cares. And you have the the debate coming up in a couple of days, and they know Biden sucks. I mean, in his 180 years in the Senate, he didn't do much to solidify himself with the voters. He's lost the Democratic National Committee's nomination 3 times before he finally won it.
Yeah.
He's a bad candidate even without the dementia. Now you add that on top of it, he's going to do horrible. And suddenly, 2 days before that, this drops with a promise of more to come. I'm telling you guys, watch. Wednesday. Wednesday, you will see another drop from the New York Times because Biden's going to do horribly. But as for the actual story, I read the whole goddamn thing, Jack, and it is long and it is boring. And it's mostly nonsense. Keldrick, thank you. I've been rewatching your old videos, Ranting Monkey, because I'm a sock of hearing about, or because I'm guessing sick of hearing about Wu Flu, Trump, Biden, and BLM all the time. I hope you're enjoying them. Thank you for the donation.
Yeah, although we bitch about all that stuff.
Well, I'm guessing that's what he's telling me is to shut up. So enjoy the videos. Corey, thank you. On my 1 p.m. to 5 a.m. shift, thanks for the company. Happy to be there.
Raul said that Trump's lost about $2 billion of net worth since he became president, and that would actually account for why he paid so little.
Well, there's a lot of reasons why he paid so little, and one of the biggest ones is because of losses. You had a thing with he'd actually paid quite a bit of taxes. What was it in I want to say 2013, 14. The numbers all run together because this is one horrifically written article. And I believe it was done that way on purpose. It jumps all over the place to tell you about this and to tell you about that and then to tell you about this instead of, like any kind of serious timeline. And when Obama passed the shit to help businesses with the Economic Recovery Act, Trump got a major windfall because suddenly deduction or losses he couldn't claim before he could claim. And not only was he able to claim them, he got a fat check from the government, $70 million in taxes refunded to him that he'd already paid, along with, I think it was $10 million in interest. That'd be a nice check, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I'll give you an example of how they poison the well a little bit with half facts and partial stories. They talk about how Ivanka Trump was working for her dad on a couple of deals in Dubai, and I forgot where the other place was. But at that same time, Trump claimed like $2 million worth of consulting fees. And nobody remembers any consulting, but on her government forms that she has to fill out to show financial disclosures, Ivanka took $2 million in payments as a consultant. Then they tell us consulting is okay as long as it's relevant and market necessary. But 3 businessmen got arrested for calling themselves consultants and opening their own consultant firms. And that was the judge said it was just them trying to give themselves money. Like, those have nothing to do with each other. Nothing at all to do with each other. And then they throw in there, and Fred Trump was known for dubious ways of getting money to his children so that he didn't have to pay the gift tax. Oh.
Dun, dun,
Seriously,
dun.
That's part of the fucking article. And it's all written up like that, like, oh my God. Meanwhile, there's nothing necessarily to it. Ivanka Trump, being a consultant for her dad's company after working for it for many years, is it, I don't want to say, is it cool? I don't know. If she's thinking of starting her own consulting firm and having a big contract like with, I don't know, Donald Trump, would help that look good on paper, especially if you're going out, business loans, that kind of stuff, getting in new clients, that kind of thing. I consulted with my dad on this. But they make it sound immediately, oh my God, they were trying to get out of paying. They even said that a more dubious answer is that he was just trying to get out of paying taxes. Because you see, he doesn't have to pay taxes on it if it's a consulting. See, he doesn't have to pay payroll taxes and FICA taxes, but he can pay it out as a consulting thing, and that the people who get the consulting money have to take care of all taxes on it. I'm like, so you think he was just trying to Make his daughter have to pay more taxes? Seems kind of like a shitty thing to do. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying you don't have any proof of any of that shit. You have a whisper, and it's all you have. It's what this whole goddamn thing is. The whole fucking article, Jack. Except for, and I'll go over one of those too. Except for very rare instances, is nothing more than, yeah, he didn't pay taxes because he didn't have to. Now, one of the other things that was in that article is, and it says this, it doesn't show any indication of Trump being paid off by Russia or any money coming back and forth between Russia. Uh-oh. But then later on, it hints that maybe there is some. And maybe there's some Russia stuff in here too. And then completely changes the subject. It talks about how he bought this this big, I don't even know what it is, this big mansion up in New York, upstate New York. And he was planning on turning it into a golf course. But the local people told him no. So he found a different way to get it off his taxes. He had it. It's declared now it's a landmark. And he pays to upkeep it. And how dare that son of a bitch. But when you do that, it cannot be a primary residence. And then it quotes, and it's funny because of the timing of the way they did it. He had that done in 2014. At that time, Eric Trump was apparently quoted in Forbes as saying they had grown up on that property. That had basically been the base of operations of him and Don Jr. That's not Trump living there. But that's how they play it. The whole fucking article is that way. And then I have to go over to Twitter, Jack. Got to go over to Twitter and see a whole bunch of dumbasses. Donald Trump didn't pay taxes. I paid more than he did. Like, well, make a business, get an accountant, and pay less taxes, shithead. There is very little even hint that Donald Trump did anything wrong in that whole article. There's the hint about, the consulting fee for his daughter. There's an argument with him and the IRS over whether or not the $70 million that he got back from the IRS should actually go back to him. In which case, if they decide against it, if they decide against him, he'll have to pay like over $100 million back to the IRS. What else? Pretty much that. Though, I mean, there's not much in there to suggest that he actually did anything wrong. They're just like, we got him, you son of a bitch. You paid the taxes you were supposed to.
The monster.
You fuck.
Real quick, thank you, Evolved Potato. Don't worry, Jack. The kids whose organs I harvested for this money all had brainstem cancer, which has less than 1% survivability, so they're basically dead anyway. Crap, I just realized I mixed up the kids with cancer and completely healthy ones. Whoops.
These things happen. But yeah, it was the whole article was just sad. And the people got so upset about it. Hillary Clinton hinted during one of the debates. She said that Donald Trump doesn't want us to see his taxes because then we'll know he didn't pay any taxes. And he said, because I'm smart.
Yeah.
If I didn't pay any taxes, it's because I'm smart. Yeah, that's true. Show me any of these motherfuckers who are paying extra taxes that they don't have to. Any of them. I'm happy to listen. How many of you are out there not taking your standard deduction? You don't have to take that. You can filter that back in there and pay them the full amount if you'd like to. But you're not gonna. Because nobody likes paying taxes, for fuck's sake. And if you don't like what happened there, Donald Trump's not the one you need to be mad at. It's the people who made it possible. Your senators, your representatives, and the presidents that have come before him that signed those stupid fucking tax bills. Those are your people you need to go after. Because again, there's nothing in there. But it is interesting that that came up today with the debate just 2 days away, and old really, really, really old Joe Biden getting ready to stand up against Trump. Do you think this will be the first question of the debate, Jack?
About his taxes, yeah, but they'll ignore Joe's son Hunter.
Oh, of course. Meaning all of the people paying for the military are stupid. Get it? Marcus, you try way too hard, man. Like, way too hard. Does your mom beat you if you don't, like, get enough people arguing back with you? Tone it down just a little bit. I figured it'll be the first question, a nice distraction right out the gate, and then we'll see the next New York Times article. Like I said, I'm betting on Wednesday, or maybe they'll just, because they weren't real specific of how many articles they were going to do, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they'll leak them out continuously over the whole next week. Right now, if I'm the Democrats, you know what I do? I don't even go after Trump with this. I go after the senators in different states where we have a chance to win. They made this possible. They've been in the Senate for years, and they set up the tax program that let this billionaire pay that little. That's where I go. They won't, though, because they're not that bright.
They haven't learned anything from the 2016 election.
No.
Real quick, thank you, Rodline, for the donation. I'm supposed to pay taxes for the charity I'm working with, Short, Chubby, Bald Women for Christ, but to hell with the IRS, I'd rather give you the money. Well, thanks, Rodline. Appreciate that.
P-Dog says if they'd go for a flat tax with no deductions, starting about 3 times the poverty line, about 10% on all new income. Yep. I'm for a flat tax. Get rid of the standard deductions only. That's it. You get a standard deduction for each person in your house. And we can argue about what that amount should be. But after that, everybody pays the same amount. And then nobody can say, I'm paying more than my fair share. Does the Senate create tax laws? No, they vote on it. Tax bills are created in the House, and then they have to go through the Senate, and then they get signed or vetoed by the president. That's why you just go after the senators, because they've been there. They've had to have agreed to it without amending it. Gamer Vleen, thank you. Or with not giving an amendment that would take care of this shit. Marcus, the military pays income tax. Almost half my pay was tax. Example, housing, sustenance allowance. Who's stupid now? I paid myself. Well, there you go. That's a self-perpetuating clock. It's the timing on this is the one that really gets me. It's like there's no way they just got this like last week. No way. They've been working with somebody who's had access to Trump's taxes for a while. You think they'll figure out who it is? Like some lowly IRS worker in Cleveland?
It would surprise me that somebody would rat out Trump's taxes, but yeah, there's a limited pool as to who it could be. So they'll find out who did it. It won't be that hard. This is a crime. Well, so
it would be. I mean, if it was accessed through the IRS, it'd be pretty easy to find. But if it's just some random jackass who works at one of the accounting firms that the Trump organization uses, that could be a lot harder to track down. And by then it's too late anyway. I mean, it's already out there, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it depends how much of this is digital. Because if it was just in some file folder, yeah, that might be more difficult. But somebody had to have passwords and access to the files if it's on the system somewhere.
Yeah. They also, oh God, I forgot about this part, Jack. I actually put in there, this is reminiscent of the scandal with Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon claimed that he had that he paid this much taxes, but he was supposed to pay this much. And ever since then, it's been precedent for the president to release his taxes.
I still don't care about any of these people's taxes.
It's still not law.
No, that's exactly why I don't care. It's not a requirement.
Yeah.
They're making it sound like the fact that he didn't release his taxes was some kind of major crime against humanity or something. And
all it boils down to is a bunch of butthurt shitheads who think it matters, or we deserve to see it. I mean, the funniest part is it's another instance, Jack, where it's just the president playing with these people.
Yeah.
It's like he sets them up and is like, okay, I'm going to make fun of you now, and you're going to freak out about it. And then he makes fun of them and they freak out. I'm going to taunt you and you're going to freak out about it. You know how you stop getting people to do that? Stop freaking out about it.
I don't think they can. I think they're it's almost an obsession with them. They are obsessed with this man. And but it's like a reverse celebrity stalker. They don't want to hang out with him and be besties. They just want to hate him. He's almost like the devil to them.
Well, I like how, he's made George Bush a great president. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, it's weird.
For those of us who lived through it, it's like, I'm sorry, what? You guys treated that man like the devil. And then Trump came along and now he's the devil. And I guarantee you, whatever Republican comes next will be the devil.
Well, yeah,
because the whole point is they're not supposed to lose. It's almost like they're standing up there. I'm the pretty one. I'm supposed to get the date. I'm the pretty one.
Oh, they're all Jan from Brady Bunch. Marsha.
It's just silly. But it is interesting. It's interesting to watch.
They make me sad.
Yeah, and it's going to be like this for the next 2 days. There's a bunch of idiots who don't understand how taxes and finance. Like I said, Scott Adams hit it right. Cue all the financial illiteracy.
Yeah.
And boy, do we see it. I just left Twitter, man. It's just like I don't care. Because I don't care about Trump's taxes. I don't.
No, I don't know why anyone does. They've been obsessing about this since the election in 2016. And nobody really cared then other than a handful of leftists.
Yeah.
The news media people.
Well, the news, yeah, because how dare he tell us something we can't have.
Yeah, and that's what it is they didn't get their way. Like a bunch of petulant, spoiled children.
Yep. And sadly, that's what they are.
They're weird looking too.
Yeah. I don't know if I did anything else on Twitter because I knew what this was going to be all today. Although I did like this one from Gretchen Lynn. Bring this over here. I unmuted myself instead of sharing the screen. Shared this GIF. It says, libertarians when they hear someone got out of paying taxes.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of libertarians going, good. They avoided theft.
Libertarians not real big on the tax paying. You ever hear about those dumbass libertarians who are like, I don't have to pay taxes, and they get thrown in prison? Like, but I thought I didn't have to pay taxes.
Oh yeah, like Wesley Snipes tried the sovereign citizen thing. Like,
yeah. Did he do it? I mean, his wasn't more of the libertarian. His was more somebody told him about that, and he bought into it.
Yeah. Well, I think it was kind of a Hail Mary pass, but yeah, there's a lot of people like that. Like, I don't have to do that, man. Oh, yeah, you kind of do. Nobody likes it, but it's one of those things of living in civilization you don't have to like. If you don't like it, go off the grid and trade sticks for berries or whatever with a Yogi Bear.
Yeah. Go find your own country and good luck with it.
Yeah, because everybody's going to hit you with taxes no matter what country you live in. It is a form of theft and extortion, sure. But unfortunately, it's one of those things we've all got to learn to live with.
It's also how, we pay for services and stuff. So I have trouble calling it theft. I wouldn't call it that. Extortion, certainly, because the penalties that they put on that up to and including prison time are ridiculous. And they do not, like, if you owe them taxes, the what's the word? Interest is asinine, and it's not what they pay you back if they owe you interest, unless apparently you're Donald Trump, because they gave him a fat check. They've never given me interest on what they owed me.
Right.
Oh, I do want to talk about this one. Old Joe Biden again. This time he doesn't say anything too stupid accidentally. Oh, I didn't realize I had this on. Take that off so we can see the top of his head. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Out of genuine curiosity, I asked why people were wanting to see his tax forms. I got called a troll and some laugh emojis. No answers, though. Most people that will give you a real answer will tell you that it's so we can see whether or not he's been a criminal.
Yeah, that's so dumb.
And then the other ones give you the Hillary answer of we want to see how much he paid. Because, anyway. Let's go, Joe.
Shortly before Justice Ginsburg's passed, he
did call her Ginsburg. So I guess there was a little mistake. Shortly before Justice Ginsburg passed.
Yeah, he told her granddaughter, and I quote, "My most fervent wish is that I will not be replaced until a new president is installed." End of quote.
He's about to say something really stupid here, Jack.
What? No.
But it's not on accident.
It wasn't a personal request. It wasn't a favor being asked for. It was the last act of a long, unflinching career of standing up for American democracy.
It was her just saying that to her grandkid, if you believe it happened.
Yeah, allegedly. Also, we live in a republic, not a democracy.
It was the last act of her standing up for the yeah, we'll get some more of what her last act here in a second.
Never before in our nation's history has a Supreme Court justice been nominated and installed while a presidential election is already underway.
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Now, I don't know the truth of this because it depends on what you mean by a presidential election underway. There's some people out there, well, early voting has started. They should have waited to vote, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not the one who made early voting a thing, so sorry. That's meaningless to me. It really is. But here's a more interesting point. In 2015, the first Republican debate was in August 2015. Merrick Garland wasn't nominated until March of 2016. So we could say the election had already started. Not only that, the first votes for the primary were cast in February, a full month before Garland was nominated.
Yeah, I would say that's election season.
Joe didn't come out back then and go, whoa, 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 Barack, B-Rock, my friend.
B-Rock.
The election's already started. We got to wait. We got to wait. You know who else wasn't saying we needed to wait? Ruth Ginsburg. Or Ginberg, or whatever he called her. She was saying we needed to fill it. We need to fill that position. We don't need to wait. There's no reason to wait. President's elected for 4 years. But it's odd, man. The hypocrisy on both sides is so strong. But I just love that. Never before has there been a justice nominated and confirmed once the voting is started. Like, well, the voting for what matters started and ended long ago. Anywhere from 2 to 6 years ago, man. The elections that the voting that mattered for what's going on right now happened in 2014, 2016, 2018. Whether you're talking senators or representatives or the president. That's the ones that matter. Knock it off with this nonsense bullshit of we should let the people have a say. People had their say. You just don't like it. Faithless said there had been a Democrat Senate. They would have shoved through a judge in a heartbeat. Absolutely. And they'd be right to. They'd be right to. You would. I'm betting most of the people in the audience wouldn't like it. But I'd be like, yes, their prerogative. Should have voted. Should have voted. Should have got your friends out there to vote. But yeah. Jack.
Monkey.
This is some more election bullshit, believe it or not. When you see it at first glance, you might not believe it. But this is it. Says, open your election ballot in a little box across her titties. Now she's giggling like that because that box was not across her titties when that picture was taken, obviously. She's a
4.5.
Well, I mean, that's being mean, but
no, 3 would be mean.
I was gonna say
that's being generous.
Felon, but I can't remember if she's just a felon or if she was misdemeanor she'd been arrested for before. Says the public doesn't need to see everything. Don't forget your secret or your secrecy envelope. And then we have this picture with her and 2 friends.
Also 3.5s.
Fill out your ballot, place it in the secrecy envelope, fill out and sign the voter declaration, then place the sealed secrecy envelope in the return envelope. It's to teach you to make sure you use the secrecy envelope. And the tweet with it from her says, desperate times call for desperate measures. So your favorite elected officials got naked so that you remember to make sure that your mail-in ballot is not submitted without its secrecy envelope.
Yeah. Look, nobody wants to see elected officials naked. What's her name said, check your no box. Yeah, there's penalties for ugly tattoos here. Look, these are not attractive people. They should not be naked. And I don't know what Starbucks they did this at, but it probably needs to be heavily scrubbed now.
I just love it when I see naked women. Like, you need to take me seriously. Look, I'm naked. Ladies, get as naked as you want to be. I don't care. But you don't then get to turn around and claim that we have to take you seriously at that point. This is what it says for her bio, Jack. You ready?
Okay.
Formerly incarcerated person. Hang on a second. Excuse me. So sorry. Formerly incarcerated person in long-term recovery from substance abuse disorder. Allegheny County council person. So, and she's a she, her. In case you had any questions after seeing that picture, that is a chick.
Ugh.
Or at least she identifies as one. She's also, I wonder if you could get her to cast some votes in your favor by slipping her a dime bag. But hey, baby. Pete says, personally, I find naked titties very inspiring. Yeah, but do you remember what you've seen written across any of them? No. You just want to see the titty. And you know what? If I just want to see the titty, I'll just go look at the titty. Have more respect for yourselves, ladies. Why is it every time that I got to pay attention to a woman in something serious, it's like, oh, you got to notice my womanhood to take me serious. Look, we're going to do the slut walk for women's empowerment and run around naked.
I don't know.
For my empowerment, we need to talk about my vagina and what comes out of it once a month. Yeah. You know why? Tiny girl brains.
Yep. Didn't even need to say it.
Yeah, it's science.
It's a fact.
Now, where is the one that annoyed me the most? I read this last night when we got off the air. There it is. It's actually from the other day. The ACLU had tweeted out about this guy who was being put to death. I want to read what they wrote. It says, Christopher Vulva is scheduled to be executed this Thursday, September 24th, for a crime he committed as a teenager. No one should be executed for a mistake they made as a juvenile. Jack, given the words I just said to you, how old would you guess this man was?
15 or 16.
He was 19 when he killed two people.
Not a juvenile.
Not a juvenile. And that is stretching the credibility of the word teenager at that point.
Yeah.
Killed two people. He'd originally just thrown them in a trunk after carjacking them and trying to get money out of their ATM. When that didn't work out, he shot them both in the head. And then his friend set fire to him.
Jesus.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I don't care where you fall on the death penalty. I really don't. I don't care if this guy spent the rest of his life in a box or under one. I don't care about this man. But that argument, nobody should be executed for the mistake they made as a juvenile. One, not a juvenile. So let's use the real word. A mistake they made at 19. He was an adult, and he murdered two people.
Yeah.
Your argument is fucking retarded. If you're against the death penalty, come up with something better than, well, it was look, man, he was only 19. Because that's literally the fucking excuse. He's only 19. Come on, man. You made mistakes at 19, right?
Come on, man.
Jack, how many people did you kill in the trunk of their car when you were 19?
I've never killed anyone.
Yeah, me neither. Huh.
I don't think that's so much a mistake as an on purpose. What you're describing, I mean, that seems a little bit like an intentional. And I don't care if this guy dies. He sounds like a piece of shit.
Oh, by the way, he died.
Oh, good.
Yeah, apparently somebody in the remarks mentioned that he died or that they did kill him. So I don't care. If they know he did it, fuck it, fuck that guy. But it was their argument that offended me. I'm like, that's not a reason not to do it. I'm sorry that you were 19 and you made a mistake. Making a mistake at 19 is, I don't know, getting busted drunk driving. Not killing about anybody doing it. You know, you did something stupid. This isn't stupid. It was murder. Attempted theft and, well, actually theft because they did steal the vehicle, and attempted more theft and then murder. Just outright murder. Shot them each in the head. which means one of them was alive when the other one had to hear their loved one die. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. He sounds like a piece of shit. I don't really care about what happened to him.
My only hope is that he got butt raped a lot in jail.
Right?
And I don't usually go in for the prison rape because I don't think most people deserve it. But if you're a murderous shitbag, I don't care. I don't care what the fuck happens to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all I had from Twitter today, Jack. Like I said, I wasn't on there much. As soon as the stupid started with the fucking New York Times article, I was just like, I don't care. There's going to be so many stupid people out there. Why is Omar trending?
Humble Clay just sent me the article about that. It's in the side chat.
Yeah, I just saw it here. It's at the top. The Project Veritas exposes Ilhan Omar allies in alleged ballot harvesting operation in Minnesota.
You're breaking in and out there. You might want to read that again.
Sorry about that. Project Veritas exposes Ilhan Omar allies in alleged ballot harvesting operation. Project Veritas being the, what's his name? James O'Keefe's thing. And ballot harvesting being where you go and get people's ballots and, I'm using air quotes, turn them in for them.
Yeah, turn them in.
Project Veritas has released the results of an investigation into alleged ballot harvesting by supporters of Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar in Minnesota, a key swing state in the 2020 presidential election. Video footage captured by Project Veritas shows an operative, Libin Mohammed, bragging about collecting hundreds of ballots. Because ballot harvesting is not illegal everywhere. Is it legal in Minnesota?
I don't know. That's a good question for P-Dog. P-Dog dropped a link to CBS News take.
Havoc, thank you. Should have strung him up from a lamppost and beat him like a piñata. In Minecraft, of course. Indeed. What's that? P-Dog dropped a link to what now?
CBS article about Ilhan. Says it's illegal in Minnesota to do that.
Wait, the one P-Dog that I see from him was just about the dead guy.
CBS News? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. And Evolved says, check my money hole on it. Give me just a second here. That's why we need a producer. Evolved Potato, thank you. So if Hitler was 19, he shouldn't have been punished if he was still alive. Just taking it to the logical extreme. Yeah. Dylan Roof wasn't that old. How many people are going to call that a mistake? Fuck those murderous shits.
Let's not look it too deep into the hypocrisy of these clowns.
All right. Numbers do not lie. Numbers do not lie. You can see my car is full. All these here are absentee ballots. Can't you see? Look at these. My car is full. Mohammed could be heard saying in the video. The video includes testimony from a whistleblower, Omar Jamal, who called Representative Omar's alleged ballot harvesting an open secret, and also discussed an alleged cash for vote scheme organized by staffers of Representative Omar. Ilhan Omar, will do anything that she can to get elected, and Ilhan Omar, has hundreds of people on the streets doing that, said Jamal. James O'Keefe, the founder and CEO of Project Veritas, said ballot harvesting is real and has become a big business. Our investigation into this ballot harvesting ring demonstrates clearly how these unscrupulous operators exploit the elderly and immigrant communities and have turned the sacred ballot box into a commodity trading desk. Wow. Jared Edge said, or chief legal operator, sorry, I missed a whole fucking line right there. The chief legal officer for Project Veritas said that Mohammed and other ballot harvesters could face heavy penalties for their alleged violations. Federal law 18 USC 597 and 52 USC 10307 are quite clear. In the case of 18957, it is punishable by up to 2 years in prison and is punishable. But wait, whoa. But is that for the ballast harvesting? Because that is legal it is legal in some states. Minnesota statute. I'm gonna have to click on these and check those out later. But the Minnesota statute prohibits paying a person or receiving money to register to vote or to vote. This is a state felony punishable by more than 1 year in prison. I don't think they care. The three together, those three laws prohibit anyone from using undue influence, threats, intimidation, or fraud to influence a person's vote or to influence them to vote at all. All right. Well, there you go. As long as they're, again, this is where the ballot harvesting thing comes into question. In some states, it's perfectly legal to go to an old person's house and ask them if they filled out their ballot. And if they say no, we'll go, if you fill it out, I can take it in for you. And then they fill it out, with you not doing anything, of course. You sitting on the couch patiently waiting, and then to take that ballot and turn it in for them. Because that's exactly how it happens, Jack. Yeah.
Something like that. I bet there's a lot of fraud going on with this election. Shockingly, I know. But I'd be willing to bet some of those are fake ballots, too. I
wonder if her consultant new boyfriend dude, did they get married? They're married now. Her honky love is involved in this through any of his consulting. She's dirty. I'm telling you, she is dirty.
Yeah. Well, I mean, didn't she allegedly marry her brother to get him in the country?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty fucking shady right there.
I do not understand how this woman, who, even if you don't take that, this is a Muslim woman in a heavily Muslim community, one with overwhelming support, just her primary. That shouldn't have happened. Not in any sane world.
You would think not, but
they'd be more likely to stone her than vote for her.
There's a lot of shady stuff going on around her, and I'm willing to bet that if you dug into it, there'd be something there. But nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to look into this anything beyond the superficial, and it's really frustrating.
Yeah. Oh, God. I hate these people. I really do, Jack. I hate them a lot.
I know. It's just so shady and lazy.
Don't look for a New York Times article on that tomorrow morning, because that shit ain't coming up. They treat James O'Keefe like he lies about everything, like he's that other guy. What's the guy who said he had a lover of some politician or something who was coming out and then nobody ever came out? Oh, somebody knows his name. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. He's a really scummy conservative guy who is as bad as people want to think James O'Keefe is. Was it Buttigieg that it was supposedly on? That makes sense. Who was the guy that supposedly had that? I forget his name. He pops up every once in a while, and as soon as I recognize it, I'm like, oh, God, this shithead. James O'Keefe, on the other hand, has mostly been vindicated. Not completely, but mostly been vindicated for the bullshit that's been said about him. Now, he still does have a problem, though, because the only people who will listen to him is Breitbart and Alex Jones.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just because of that, I mean, he doesn't get taken seriously, even though he does some good undercover stuff. If you remember, go back to the original thing that kicked James O'Keefe off. That was them helping a whore and a pimp get housing and federal or get funding and all that shit.
Oh yeah, through Acorn.
Yeah, through Acorn. And like nowadays, if you looked at it, like James O'Keefe, he lied. No, he really didn't. Because they did still know this information and were gonna set it up. Like, well, afterwards they said maybe they can't do it. Okay, but this is on video. We can watch it.
Nope, nothing to see here. Move along.
O'Keefe did get in some trouble for that one because there was some manipulating of the video. And he's gotten in trouble for that a couple of times, but most of his lawsuits he's won.
Yeah.
Because he still has, the videotape. We didn't do that. I have the video.
That doesn't mean anything.
We're going to go sit over there now. All right. Trump is not a billionaire is trending.
Who cares? Why does any of this matter to people?
Fake president is trending. Oh, that was a part of it we didn't talk about. While he was on The Apprentice, Donald Trump claimed $70,000 in business expenses for a stylist while he was on TV. And some people misread this because they didn't read, but that was while he was on The Apprentice, not just in a single year on The Apprentice.
Oh, so it was like 6 years.
While you're on TV and you're the number one television show there for a little while, you pay a little bit more for that. And he's a billionaire, so he could. Just saying. I hate these people. They're so stupid. My Chargers lost today.
The water's wet.
I know. I had hope after the Chiefs game that they would actually do well. There were two. Okay, there's at least one bogus call in that game. His hand was definitely going forward, and I can prove it because the fucking ball flies 5 yards forward, and they're like, "Nah, man, that was a fumble. That's fucking retarded." But otherwise, they just sucked because they're the Chargers. Oh well. Nothing even really trending that I want to talk about. Although Al Capone is trending because there's fucking retards over there on Twitter.
Well, are you surprised?
You got to be a fucking retard to compare Trump and Capone. I'm just throwing that out there.
Pretty much.
Jack, what'd you do with your day?
Let's see. I went and did some laundry, so I filmed it. And,
cool.
First time because the laundromat finally opened up. Because it was shut down for the COVID thing. Yeah. So, I filmed 4 episodes, maybe 5 of laundry. And then that was kind of the main thing I did today. I worked on some videos for my comic review channel and played with my brother's dog for a little while. And that was about all I got accomplished. There were a bunch of other stuff I was going to do, but I didn't quite get anything else done.
I woke up. What time did I wake up? Around 5. Went upstairs, had some dinner. Got scared because my wife was watching Snapped.
Nice.
Now, she likes a lot of that murder porn stuff. So do I. I enjoy quite a bit of it. Snapped is not one of my favorite shows because one, it's mostly about men getting murdered by women. But 2, it's not very well done, really. The way they tell the story and everything is just kind of janky. But this one particular one comes on and I'm like, It's about this guy and his wife. They got married when they were quite young. And they had some babies when they were quite young. And both of them had fast food jobs at first. But then he goes and works at a factory. It's not exactly a machine shop, but a factory. And then he ends up crippled.
Uh-oh. This sounds familiar.
Right? And he ends up getting his head beaten in with a baseball bat while he's lying in bed. I'm like, honey, this one's scaring me. Can we change the channel, please?
It's like, no, I'm looking for pointers.
Like, holy shit. But that crazy bitch. Okay, this is a dude who cannot walk without a walker. He can't stand up. He had some really bad nerve problems in his lower back, so his was just his legs. But she claims she came home from dropping the kids off at school, and he tried to stab her. And she ended up killing him while he was trying to stab her. Now, he was killed in his bed, lying down. And we know this because of where all the blood splatter is all over. Real quick, Shrouded, thank you. Is this a story about yourself? No, and I don't want it to be about myself. That was the point.
Real fast. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat, for the donation. Update. The first reply I got was, why do you think people want to see his taxes? Why the fuck would I know? That's why I'm asking.
Nice. He was obviously in bed when he got his head beat in. And she's like, no, he tried to stab me. I'm like, bitch, you dumb and a murderer.
Well, you know, he was laying there and like, lean over. Lean over.
She was fat and ugly too, so. But that's all right. She married a man who looked like his mom and dad had been brother and sister, so.
Huh.
They actually said he was like any normal boy in the South. I'm like, he looks like it. Oh, I like those, but there's ones I like more than others. And Snapped, even though it's about the whole men getting killed thing, that's not what bothers me the most about it. They don't tell a very good story. And the woman who narrates it, she's horrible. Now, Dateline Discovery, I think is the one I really like, even though it's even not the best one. There's other ones out there, but I like the murder porn. I like seeing where they get caught. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Because they always do something really stupid.
Well, people get comfortable and they get lax, or they just get sloppy, or they're dumb.
Yeah. They think they're smart. You should really watch a whole lot more of those shows before you do something like that.
You would think so. Yeah, I like Forensic Files too, Corey.
Yeah, Forensic Files is probably the best one.
Yeah. Although Wives with Knives, I like just because of the name. And it's also one of the reasons I'll never get married.
Wives with Knives, that sounds like a very specific.
It is. It's just about women stabbing their husbands.
Yeah, see, that's kind of shit scares me.
Yeah, it should.
If I got stabbed in my sleep, I'm pretty much done. Even if she misses a vital organ on that first one, like, I guess I'm just getting stabbed now. When they snitch, it's funny. Yeah, I actually saw one the other day that it pissed me off, man. It was about these two people. Okay, first of all, there's a mother of 3 who dies in a house fire. Her and the baby die in a house fire.
Jesus.
And when they get in there, they find out not only has there been accelerants put everywhere, but she has a knife in her back. So, she probably dead.
No, she clearly fell on that while dumping kerosene all over the floor. Real fast. Thank you, Tarkata. Rich people pay less in taxes? Really? Keep your horse blinders on so you don't ask about your favorite celeb or the frauds that run charities, a.k.a. Anita Sarkeesian, etc. Yeah, don't look at any celebrity because they always pay more than their fair share.
Right,
Thank
yeah.
you, Tarkata.
They pay extra. So she's found laying face down with a knife in her back. And so they're like, probably murder. And they ask around and they find these people who live across the street who, by the way, admit to it. Now, after admitting to it, they tell people, or they tell the cops that 2 other people were involved. They bring in one of them, and after questioning, the guy's like, we talked to him, and he obviously didn't know anything about what happened. Like, okay. So they let him go. And then they bring in this other guy. And this is a guy that these two used to bully in high school. By all accounts, they used to bully him in high school, but apparently they became best friends for a murder.
Wow.
He spends 6 hours in an interrogation room at midnight, starting at midnight. And he's a little bit special, Jack.
Uh-huh.
He's a little bit special. And even though he denies this for most of the time he's in there, finally he goes, what do I, including, by the way, not knowing how he supposedly didn't or what he supposedly did. The whole, the other guy didn't know what actually happened. This guy had no idea either. To the point they had to tell him he supposedly stabbed this woman. Because the officer's like, okay, what'd you do? And he's like, I hit her. And they're like, no, what'd you do? And like, I choked her. And he's like, no, you stabbed her. I didn't stab her. Yes, you did. He's like, what? So anyway, the cop finally tells him that if there's any chance of him getting out of this interrogation room, that he has to admit what he did. So he goes, all right, fine, I killed her.
Wow. Yeah, that's not okay. That is not a good confession.
Oh, it gets better. So he does this. It's only like a 5-minute part where he's like, fine, I did all that stuff. Whatever. I just want to get out of here. Can I go home now? And the cop goes, well, I can't let you go home now because you've just confessed this. And he says this line. Well, then why did I just tell you all these lies? They used that as a confession in court.
Jesus.
And this motherfucker went to jail for years.
That's insane.
He went to jail for years. I forget how long he ended up spending in there. But, yeah, he was in there for a long time. And finally, Terry McAuliffe, because this was in Virginia, finally lets him out. On the condition that, he's still got to stay on parole and wear an ankle bracelet and everything. And it took him another year before they completely exonerated him.
That's nuts.
A month before his mom dies.
Wow.
Yeah. Ain't that some shit? Because I'm watching this and I'm getting pissed off. Just pissed off.
Yeah.
I'm like, this shit should never happen. And I understand it, sometimes interrogations go long, but the way they were badgering him and the point where he's like, especially when he said, then why did I just tell you all these lies? How the fuck does that not make it into the jury? And how are you sitting on a jury and go, yeah, that sounds like a legit confession to me. I hate people, Jack. Comrade Kitty, thank you so much. Here, Monkey, add this to your game fund to get a new machine. Got to see you get attacked by boars some more. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I don't know what it was. Okay, Jack, I got to switch gears a little bit. I was playing the game last night, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm walking through the forest. A brief outline of a animal, I couldn't tell you what kind, runs at me, hits me in my nuts. I take damage, and then it disappears into thin air. It was just gone.
That's weird.
It's got random nut monsters on that game.
Huh. Is that medieval one?
Yeah. I don't know what kind of random nut monsters they had in medieval times, but I'm not okay with them.
Well, I don't want to piss them off. Would you do, wander into a fairy mound or something?
I don't know, man. Faithless says shitty lawyers, both prosecutor and public defender. The thing is, the public defender is the only reason this guy's not still in prison, because he kept trying. He kept trying to get anyone to listen to him. Like, this ain't right. And so finally, this woman who works on cases where people have been wrongly convicted, specifically on coerced confessions, got involved and helped push it. And that goddamn. I'm getting mad just thinking about it. How the fuck does that ever make it to trial? By the way, one of the ways this guy's got out was that the people who killed the lady, it was a guy and a girl. The guy eventually came out and went, I need to tell you something.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. He told the lawyer, he's like, Yeah, he wasn't there. Yeah, they made it all up just to get at a kid that they didn't like in high school.
That's fucked up, man.
You want to talk about some fucking bullies?
Right?
That's taking bully to a whole new level.
That's some long-term shit.
I'm going to get you raped in prison. Damn. Yeah, that motherfucker. And like I said, he's not like retarded, Jack, but he's
slow.
Very slow and awkward. I mean, definitely on the spectrum somewhere. Definitely on the spectrum.
No, you get interrogated by the cops. The only words out of your mouth should be, "Where's my lawyer?"
BG says, "Nuts, you can't tell me you never wanted to kick Monkey in the nuts." Why would she ever want to do that to me? I'm a sweetheart. Dude, you're supposed to be on my side.
Well, as your enabler, I am also other people's enablers. So it's a busy job being an enabler.
I would confess to murders I couldn't have done. That's right. I shot Lincoln and I'd do it again. Yeah, I mean,
he's probably the one that started the Great Chicago Fire too, back in 1905 or whatever.
I've watched some of these interviews with police and stuff, and I got to be honest, as a smartass Jack, I would end up in prison because I would have said what he said just to be an asshole. Fine, fucker, I did it. Prove it. Because literally the only thing they had is that the other two saying it, like, okay, where's the physical evidence? These are two confessed murderers who already fingered one person didn't do it. Come on, man. It's like they just wanted to punish a retarded kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they wanted to shift the blame to someone else, and they already hate him, so.
Well, I mean, the police is who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, they're railroading someone because it looks good on their record. Oh, we got triple murderers.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I don't know. I could take that shit. I've watched, because it's never like it is on TV. You ever watch confession tapes?
Yeah, it's fucked up.
I went down a rabbit hole on them here because you can find a bunch of them here on YouTube, guys.
Oh yeah, there's whole channels devoted to interrogations and confessions.
Yeah, and interrogation tapes are interesting if somewhat boring to watch at times because they can just drag on for no reason. But there's that one. Oh God, I forget his name. Matt, what is his name? I gotta find it out. The one that Scribbles had just told me about recently, who has the true crime channel.
Orchard?
Matt Orchard, that's it. Matt Orchard did a video. Okay, I gotta look him up now so I get the name right. I'm gonna fuck it up anyway because I can't say it. You and I talked about the case. Daniel Holtzclaw. That's how you say it.
Oh yeah, the cop.
That's one. He includes quite a bit of the interrogation footage, and there's not really much there, not much at all. But even what is there is just like, y'all talk too long. Just ask him if he did it, and if not, let him go. And I know that's not the right way to do it. You gotta, prod him a little bit, because that's how you do it on Law and Order. Johnny Hellcat, thank you. Update. The next reply from a different person. You must not understand tax code. I might not, but at least I know how to answer a question with an actual answer. The hell is wrong with people? Johnny, they don't know why they want it. It's just anger.
Yeah, they're just upset they can't have it. They're petulant children, spoiled little babies.
Yeah, they're a bunch of little. They don't know. They're stupid. These are they're running around. Many of these same people. He only paid $750 in taxes. That's not right. It's not, but it's not his fault. Here's what it is. I was trying to think of another interesting one of these cases because I watched so many of them, and the ones that scare me, Jack.
Serial killers.
No, serial killers don't scare me. The wife doesn't really scare me because she can't enter the bedroom without waking me up. It's the ones where kids pay to have their parents murdered.
Oh yeah, that's pretty messed up.
Yeah, luckily I have nothing to leave to my children.
Here's some debt.
Yeah, I'm staying that way until they're much older, until they're independently wealthy themselves.
Yeah.
Because those ones are always so fucked up, and sometimes it's over as little as like $20,000.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's people that have been murdered over trivial things. Rod Farrell killed this girl, Heather Wendorf. He killed her parents because they were in playing Vampire the Masquerade, and he believed he was a real vampire, and they were his cult or coven. So he bludgeoned her parents to death, stole their SUV and like $100 or something trivial like that, and they drove to New Orleans to be vampires. They got caught in like 2 weeks, but they were killed over nothing.
Yeah,
that's the type of shit that's just scare everyone because kids are dumb.
Yes, very dumb. I'm just looking at Matt. Last time I saw his channel, which was what, maybe a week ago, you and I talked about him. It was at 10K then. He's at 17,000. Go Matt. I'd given him a little bit of advice on how to help, and I don't know if any of it did help. I hope so. But I'm glad to see him taking off. Good on him, man.
Before True Blood Bastard Beast.
Yeah.
This was back in the 90s.
There was a guy who, a couple of kids who actually killed somebody with an axe because they wanted to see what it was like from D&D. They were the special kids, you know, probably shouldn't have been allowed to play fantasy stuff without an adult present.
Wow.
But yeah, they decided they wanted to see what it was like to really do it. Like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
You can't blame that on the game. I hate that shit though.
Oh, it's an excuse to avoid responsibility for the person.
Yeah. Look, no, you can't. That's like blaming it on rap music or blaming it on, okay, rap music might cause some crap. But mostly just white people who can't dance and fall. Corey, thank you, Monk. I hope your life insurance policy isn't large. I don't think I have one. I think I have one through my wife's work.
Yeah. What's insurance?
Yeah. I don't have a separate one myself. And hell no, man. I ain't pumping that up. Be looking over my shoulder every day. Every time I get near the stairs, my wife darts out of her chair. Hell no. Although I feel like she wouldn't do that, Jack. I almost fell down the stairs today and scared the shit out of her. And I got yelled at for walking by the stairs.
Well, you know, you really should just scooch everywhere on your butt at this point.
She's a sweetheart, and I love her, and I understand that she gets scared by that stuff. But I've fallen down those things plenty of times. I'll be fine if I take a header. It won't be the first time.
When you die, she's worried that if you die from that, she's going to be looked at as a murderer.
With her television watching history, she will be.
Yeah, they'll look at the cable and be like, oh, what's all this then? Oh, he fell down the stairs, huh? He seems to have a history of that.
Right? Her and my daughter both, man, just like relax. Just a little bit. Just relax.
Stunlock had a good one. Monkey, have you ever tossed something heavy down those stairs just to see her reaction time?
No. For a couple of reasons.
She'd shove you down for real?
That's a possibility. I've fallen down those stairs and she hasn't. I hear, are you all right? With that delay. Yeah. Apparently you can tell how hard I've fallen because there are times if I fall that she's right up and she's right there. But yeah, there's several of them where there's a long ass delay. Are you okay? Like, yes, sweetie. You better not scare Lady Monk. Now, here's the other thing. When my daughter was up last time or the time before, I can't remember which, I was standing right in front of the stairs, as I do. and I pretended like I was about to fall. And the two of them, you could see how scared they were. And I felt bad. It's one of the few times I felt bad making a joke like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I won't be doing that again. I'm like, did you die this time? Oh. Yeah. Now, if I fall when the kids are there, she's immediately there. One, to make sure I'm okay, but mostly to make sure the girls are okay. Like, Grandpa's all right. He's fine. You're okay, right? Yeah, I'm okay.
I'm fine. Ouch.
Yes, Ranting Monkey is slightly stupid, but guess what? We all are, including you. I'm not slightly stupid. I'm incredibly intelligent, handsome, got a big dick, and I smell good. That's science.
RJ asked, what prank would I pull on Monkey? I would get a noisemaker that sounds like a cricket and hide it somewhere in his house.
Oh, God. That's horrible.
I know, because I'm a dick.
Yeah, please do not try and tempt fate like that, Monk. Thank you, Sora. I learned my lesson. I won't do that again. I really did. I felt bad. And like I said, I don't feel bad that often. Usually it's like, come on, learn to take a joke. You'll be fine.
Thank you. Oh, thanks, Frosted. This is Frosted talking, not me. Quote, thanks for playing your part in our little business arrangement. My parents were never going to spend that $20K, but they can't complain no more. Here's your cup. End quote. That's a joke.
Is it?
Yeah, because for what he donated, yeah, it wouldn't have been worth my time.
Well, yeah, that's one of the other things about these shows. You ever see how little some of these people pay to have somebody offed?
Right? Like, come on, man. It better be like damn near $1 million for me to even entertain that notion.
Yeah, the one that really just made me go, it was like $600 to have her husband killed. I was like, $600? That's insulting is what that is.
Right? Like, I am worth more than that. Plus, do you know how much work it is to kill somebody? Oh my God. You're going to be so tired, and then you're going to start swinging like a girl, and then you got to get rid of a body. That's just not worth the money or the time. I'm way too lazy to kill people.
You can't even get a good piece off the street for that much.
Right?
You can get a crappy one, I guess. No, look, man, you come to me and say, look, I want you to kill my husband for $600. No. I don't know why they'd entertain it. The possibility of going to prison for the rest of your life over $600.
Right?
That's barely what Trump pays in taxes.
That won't even get you like a good snack plan at the prison commissary. You know, you're going to run out of cigarettes real fast, and then your butthole's on the line.
Ex-Bubba Hotep says, $600. Why are you overpaying the hobo? Well, this one, it was this chick. She had paid this guy to shoot her husband, and he like shotgun blasted the motherfucker from behind. Real grisly.
That's just rude.
Yeah. And yeah, she'd only paid him like $600, and they weren't a thing yet, but it was like they could be a thing kind of thing.
Oh, she was leading him on.
$600 and some pussy, you're going to shoot someone? Because look, even if you turn state's evidence against her, this ain't like on TV. You're not getting off with no charges.
Yeah.
You are still going to prison for a long time. So unless you like living in a box and eating slop and taking it in the butt, I mean, why?
Yeah, it's not worth it. And know your value as a person. Working on the cheap like that, you're just not even recognizing your own value.
No, if you're willing to kill somebody, you can get a lot of money for that.
Yeah, and I would think you'd want the booty up front too.
Oh, you definitely get the booty up front. Because she's taken off with a real boyfriend to Rio as soon as you've done the job.
Yeah, and she's totally going to blame you or rat you out for a better deal because you're the one that actually did the killing. That's just dumb.
And she will say, no, it was his idea. I didn't want to do it. He abused me. And at worst, she's going to get parole because she's a woman and you're a dude. You are going to die in prison.
Wolf just said, my aunt got her sister's husband to murder her husband with just sex. That's fucked up because I've watched a lot of these shows and they do the reenactments and they got all these beautiful people, or at least moderately attractive ones. And then they cut to the real person and it's always like, whoa!
Yeah.
They subtracted many pounds for that reenactment. And they're never that attractive. And you're like, what the hell were you thinking?
Now, there's times I understand it when it's like, we've seen the ones where it's a teacher who uses some schoolboy and this is his first pussy and he's dumb and young and doesn't understand the world. Okay. All right. She manipulated if you're an adult man that lets a woman do this to you, you're a dumbass.
Yeah.
You deserve everything that happens to you from then on.
Yeah. Don't be a sucker. And if a chick is leading you on for something and won't put out, she probably wants to just freeload off you. So have some self-respect and know when to walk away, especially if she's like, you want to kill my husband? Then you go to the cops and be like, hey, do you guys do Crime Stopper rewards for ones that haven't happened yet? Right.
Yeah, if she's leading you on, if she's dangling the puss in front of you, she ain't giving you the puss, man.
Right?
She just not.
Even if she does bang you a couple times, she's totally ratting you out to the cops for a deal for herself. And you're going to do life or something like that. And she's going to be out in like 4 years because she didn't actually do the murder. She just hired you. And she'll blame it all on you and say it was your idea anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
crazy.
It is amazing how many women try to murder their husbands. And they always got an excuse, like this woman. That man I told you about earlier, found dead in his bed. His head had been beaten in with a baseball bat. And she cried, "You tried to stab me." By the way, that woman had cheated on him before. And he took her back because he loved her. All 300 pounds of her fat ass. And then she beats him to death in his bed. Look. I'm almost ready to say most women ain't worth it because Lady Monkey's worth it. If I die in my bed that way, it was worth the ride, my friend.
Yeah.
But man, I got lucky as shit.
Yeah. A lot of people these days are just scumbags. It's one of the reasons I'm glad I'm still single. Like being single has its downsides, but it also has its upsides. I get to keep all my stuff and I don't have to worry about this chick cheating on me and then having her new boyfriend kill me, you know?
I don't know how you even start that conversation. Hey, you want to kill somebody? How do you get into that conversation? Especially if you ain't given up the booty yet.
Yeah, that's a good question. And how does somebody not immediately get repulsed by that? Like, whoa, I ain't murdering no one. I don't want to go get butt slammed in the federal pen. No. That just seems like it's a bad idea all around. Like, what made you think that was a good idea?
Pyrus says Craigslist, maybe. Maybe. We've heard of that before too, haven't we?
Yeah.
Truth or dare, I suppose that'd be one way to do it. I dare you to go kill him. No, bitch, touch my wiener first. You didn't do it. No, I just don't understand those ones.
I don't know, man. I like watching the shows because it's informative on why you should remain single. Because a lot of times it's for insurance or child custody, or they want the house, or I don't want to get a divorce. No, that's fucking crazy. Don't marry crazy people.
No. Oh, that reminds me. There was a story earlier that I was interested in. I got to find it. Talk for a second, Jack. Where did I see that?
dark web is scary with that shit. Yeah, it probably is. There's a lot of crazy stuff goes on online.
But I'm sorry to interrupt there because I told you to talk, but I would give you that if so much of this wasn't on those shows, at least people who knew the person that they paid to kill someone.
Oh yeah, that's most of the time. But I mean, there's always those loonies out there. They're like, yeah.
I saw a story earlier, and I wanted to check up on it. And yeah, former Trump campaign manager Brad Parscale, I think they said, hospitalized following attempted suicide or reported attempted suicide. This guy, I'll throw it up on the screen real fast. You might know him more by the picture if you'd seen him before. This guy. He was replaced as Trump's campaign manager a little while ago.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, there was a police call to his house, and they weren't sure at the time if it was one that he actually lived in or not. Neighbors had told people, the press, that it was, but nobody was sure. He was in the house with guns and had barricaded himself in. His former campaign manager was hospitalized Sunday following reports of an attempted suicide. According to Fort Lauderdale Police Sergeant Deanna Greenlaw, Fort Lauderdale police officers responded to Parscale's residence in reference to an armed male attempting suicide. Officers later identified him as Bradley Parscale and said his wife had called the police. When officers arrived on the scene, they made contact with the armed suspect's wife, who advised her husband was armed and had multiple firearms inside the residence and was threatening to harm himself. But see, he came out and we got him some help. So hopefully he didn't hurt himself too bad. And I hope he feels better and finds something more relaxing than politics for his life.
Yeah. If you're thinking about doing something like that, get some help. That's no need to check yourself out like that.
Did he have info on Hillary? No, he's still alive.
Yeah. See, people that have dirt on certain foundations, they suicide by the back of the head usually, or by strangulation.
Yeah. So good. I'm glad to see that he made it out of the house alive. No police were shot. He wasn't killed. I don't know why I just remembered that. You know where I saw that? Alyssa Milano had tweeted out. You think she tweeted that out with any kind of worry about the man?
She doesn't care about him.
This wasn't something that she had tweeted out with any kind of respect for him. Like, God, I hope he's okay. In fact, the tweet, it was just the headline. Uh-huh. Well then. Yeah.
I got one here I wanted to talk about. The second link in the side chat. This is H3H3.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, it's kind of pissed me off. Of course, there's people lamenting that he didn't die because people are sick bastards on the internet. So Sinatra tweeted this out. He tweeted out a tweet by Ethan Klein said, I guess I'm a libtard, but I'd happily pay more taxes if this meant this never happened to another person ever again. And he's replying to a tweet by a guy named Todd who said, sure, I was diagnosed with cancer, dropped by my insurance, and it's either bankrupting my family or just die because that's better. But that's better than rich people paying more taxes. I mean, I'd really hate for anything to make them even slightly uncomfortable. There's a lot of problems with this. First of all, rich people use the loopholes. We've already discussed that. What bothered me about this was Ethan said as a libtard, he'd gladly pay more taxes. At no point did he offer to help this guy with his cancer treatments.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty disgusting. Like, if the guy tells you that he's got cancer and he was dropped from his insurance, so he either goes bankrupt or dies, bankrupts his family or dies. And Ethan's like, well, I'd rather pay more in taxes. I'd gladly pay more. Well, why don't you offer to help set this guy up with a GoFundMe if you care so much? Didn't do any of that. Just totally disingenuous. I don't like that guy.
He goes on to say, apparently, in his next tweet, and I already pay 50 to 55%. I have no idea how the government is unable to already pay for this, but I'll pay more. Fuck it. Man, it must be nice to be able to be like, I pay 55% of my income in taxes and still have plenty to say, fuck it, have some more.
Yeah. Well, he lives in Los Angeles, too. You know, if you lived in, like, Wyoming, he could save a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, but he wouldn't make as much because celebrities wouldn't come on his show in Wyoming.
True, but I don't really know why anyone goes on his show to begin with.
Well, I want to help Ethan out here for a moment. You do not pay 50 to 55% of your taxes to the federal government. You don't. Nobody does. The highest tax bracket is what, 32, 34%, somewhere around there right now?
Something like that.
And that's if you take zero deductions. That's what you would pay. That is on your taxable income only. The rest of that is because of the state and city you live in, jackass.
Yeah. And like I said, like, there's a guy here telling him that he's got cancer and he's facing bankruptcy. Did Ethan offer to tweet out a GoFundMe? No. Did he offer to mention this on his show? No. He didn't do anything to help this guy. He just was like, yeah, I'd pay more taxes. Like, with your reach, you're ignoring what this guy is telling you in favor of bitching about taxes. That just seems morally wrong to me.
Yeah. I'm curious how his health care dropped him.
That actually does happen a lot with people with cancer diagnosis. Especially if you lost his job, the insurance would drop you.
Yeah, losing your job would do it, but you can't lose it just for having cancer anymore unless you had one of the grandfathered old policies.
Well, I don't know enough about this guy. Like, maybe he's an older fella that, you know, had the same insurance for 30 years.
Yeah, I understand, you know. Yeah, and that's horrible and everything.
I just think it was kind of shitty that he didn't ask the guy what he could do to help him or investigate this. Instead, he's talking about taxes. That seems pretty morally reprehensible to me. Because if this guy really is facing that kind of struggle, that's devastating. And Ethan's in a position where he could, like, say, hey, contact me offline. We'll look into this, something like that. Instead, no, I'd pay more taxes. Yay. I don't know. It just kind of bugged me.
I'm responding.
You gonna ask him why he looks dirty?
No. No, I'm telling him, but he hangs out with a bunch of rich people. He's a rich guy.
Yep.
Start a foundation.
Yeah.
Start a fucking foundation. Get you and all your rich friends who are willing to give every dime you have to this kind of stuff and go do it. You don't need the government to tell you to do that shit. Go do it. He doesn't have the best track record with that, does he?
Not really.
It's simple, man. Your taxes are not all going to that kind of stuff. And if you want to do that kind of thing, start it. St. Jude's wouldn't be there if they waited for the government to do it.
Right.
They didn't wait for this shit. I pay $200 a year for land taxes, and it's absolutely theft because that's my fucking land. I agree with that only because they can take your land, you know?
Yeah.
That's the place where I really consider it theft. Like, this is my property. I own it. It's paid for, except my yearly taxes. Because I got to pay the city a ridiculous amount for the right to live on my own land. What am I going to do? I'm not moving anywhere where they don't have that because they're all shit. Sent you a vid you might want to look at after the show. It's allegedly body cam footage from a cop involved in the Breonna Taylor case. I'll take a look. Ethan doesn't give a damn. He's all talk. Well, Ethan has become a far lefty, and he's embraced it, and there's a reason for that. He wants celebrities to come on his show, and most of them are, well, far lefties. He wants them to come on his show and help him get those. Oh man, his numbers have been down, or at least last I saw. He needs more controversy in his life, so he can get more people out there watching.
Dude needs a shower.
He does, and something for those eyes. And before somebody tells me that he's got a tick from having, what's it called? The one that makes you cuss?
Tourette's?
Tourette's, yeah. He's got Tourette's monkey. I don't care. Turn off the fucking camera.
I almost said retardation.
You know. I'm not a fan of that little prick, and you're right in that instance. I mean, at the very least, you could get him new insurance because they can't turn him down for a pre-existing condition.
Yeah.
Go pay for his insurance for 10 years. There you go. Done.
Yeah, it won't cost him that much. I mean, Ethan, he's got tons of cash. So if you want to really donate or help somebody, there's your chance right there.
Go donate, man. Go donate to cancer foundations. A lot of their money goes to helping families. Yep. That's how my dad paid for it when mom got leukemia. We was a Poe family, Jack.
Yeah.
Ain't no way to have been able to pay for that. I almost said retardation. That wouldn't be entirely inaccurate. Well, yeah. He's a piece of work is what he is. Another one of those people who got famous doing the very thing now he wants you not to. He had no problem making fun of people. I didn't call him fat. Well, fuck you, fat ass. I take a different view of it. How about that? Catch me outside, bitch. Yeah, it's amazing. The last thing I want to talk about, Jack, is one more thing about Trump's finances.
Okay.
Trump has several places like the one I told you about, where his sons had lived, where because it's some kind of historical thing, he's allowed to deduct it, and it's deducted as a charitable gift. I forgot how many they said there were, but there's tons of them around where he has these things and he gets to deduct them from his taxes. And they said, in fact, that's how most of his charitable giving is. In this one year, I forget which year it was, 130 or of the 130 million that he had for charitable giving, 119 million was through this kind of giving. I'm like, all right. Let's go over those numbers again 1 second. Thank you, Gamer Vleen. Monk, when Twitter makes you mad, just refer to my derp. He's mostly happy. The rest of the time, he's asleep or throwing a tantrum, waiting to play or wanting to play. When Twitter makes me mad, I just turn it off. It's easy. But thank you for that. I want to use those numbers again, Jack. Out of the 130 million of charitable giving, 119 was through those kind of things.
So he still donated like 20 million to charities?
11 million.
11? Okay.
That doesn't seem like an insignificant amount to me.
That's more money than I'll ever make in my life, I think.
But this guy at the New York Times, who I guarantee you has never given close to $11 million to any fucking charity, is like, it's only $11 million.
Only 11? Who says that?
Well, in fairness, they didn't say it's only 11. The way they wrote that, though, that's the implication.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still $11 million.
$11 million donated to charities.
That's more than people like us will make in our entire lives.
How dare you, you son of a bitch. What do you think that guy with cancer that Ethan's just like, I would give more money to help, would do with $11 million?
Probably pay for all his expenses.
Good morning, Bear. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, Alex.
Yeah. $11 million. And yes, Bernie Sanders only gave 18,000, which again, it's 18,000, but it was the most he could claim that way. Jeez. It's just fucking stupid. That was the part that was the pettiest of all of it. That was $130 million in charitable giving. $119 million is this way. It's $11 million. You fucking pricks. But we're getting to a point, Jack, where rich people are supposed to give up all their money. All their money. We're all supposed to be the same poor. The same rich, which is really poor. Yeah. And on that, I want to end on the New York Times douchebaggiest moment from their most popular headline, probably of the year now. Fuck those guys. And fuck their 11 million. Fuck off. That's more than you have ever contributed to anything, you shitbags. Jack, I think I'm going to go play a video game.
Yeah, somebody asked if you were going to noob it up in your game against.
Well, I'm going to take a shower, and if I can make it back downstairs, then I will. I'll do that. Keldrick, thank you. My roommate posed me these questions, and I'd like to hear your thoughts. Is a tax-funded police force socialism? Would law enforcement be improved by having competing law enforcement entities?
That sounds like a gang war.
I mean, I've seen people use the socialism equation for that before, for police, fire, ambulance, that kind of thing. And I mean, technically, it's the government having control over what could be a business entity. So on the most basic of terms, sure. But that is the most simplistic understanding of socialism. Would we be improved by having competing law enforcement? Fuck no.
No, it'd be a gang fight. And private police always end up being kind of corrupt for some reason.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you're going to, our police force is better than theirs. We've arrested 1,000 criminals. Oh, well, we've arrested 12,000.
Yeah,
well, we've done 24,000. Where do you think those criminals are going to come from?
Yeah, and where do you think they're going to be held? There's a lot of problems with that. But the government, in order to have legitimacy, kind of has to have a monopoly on violence so that there can be a legitimate oversight to it.
Yeah.
And then you can have civilian oversight boards. They're accountable to people, whereas if it's done privately, there's not that kind of oversight typically, and there's nobody to hold them responsible for any corruption or bad acts.
Yeah. So I would say no to both. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are very generous. I really, really do appreciate it. Jack, anything you'd like to show?
I'll drop a link to my latest video, and thank you for the donations. You guys are awesome.
Tonight is Monday, so we'll be on Satsu 2 Cents channel, 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Lords of the Night. Then we'll be on 2 Cents Plus for some more I think we're playing rap tonight. We've pretty much done everything we can do in it, so I think we're just hanging out there tonight. I don't know. But I will be on my gaming. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Let me try that again. I will be on my gaming channel here sometime tonight if I can make it back down the stairs. Okay. I'm a little sore. That's why I'm going to take a shower. It has nothing to do with stinking because I smell good. That's just fact. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful evening. Jack, thank you for joining me. Everybody, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys. I'm supposed to sing a song here, but I don't know what.